In a small and quiet village called Anza, there lived a woman known by everyone as Mama Amina. Mama Amina was very fat, big, heavy, and round. Her belly stood proudly in front of her, her arms were thick and soft, and when she walked, her body moved slowly from side to side. Anyone who saw her knew immediately that this was a woman who loved food. Mama Amina was strong, loud, and full of life. She loved two things more than anything else in this world: her only daughter, Amara, and a big heavy plate of fufu with hot soup. Every single morning, while other children in the village ate yam, rice, or bread, Mama Amina would wake up early. Her fat arms would rise and fall as she pounded fresh yam into soft, smooth fufu for Amara. Sweat rolled down her round face, but she never complained. She did not care if the sun was hot or the rain was falling. Fufu must be made. If there was no yam in the house, Mama Amina would borrow from neighbors. Her big body would squeeze through their doors as she laughed loudly. No day ever passed without fufu in their home. Amara loved it too. Amara was also fat and chubby, even as a child. She had a round stomach, full cheeks, and soft arms that shook when she laughed. She would sit on her small wooden stool, her thick legs spread comfortably, eyes wide and smiling, ready with her tiny hands to scoop the fufu into her mouth. Day after day, year after year. As Jimmy passed Amara and Rounda, just her mother. Her cheeks looked like ripe mangoes. Her arms jiggled like small balloons when she laughed. When she walked, her body bounced gently. Soon, the villagers began to notice. Si Mama Amina's daughter covered and laughing. She is round like a pot of soup, another person would say. Mama Amina only laughed, placing her thick hands on her wide waist proudly. One day at the village square, a boy named Baku shouted loudly, "Here comes the Fufu Princess." Everyone burst into laughter. The name stuck like glue. Amara did not mind at all. Instead, she smiled and waved like a real princess whenever someone called her Fufu Princess. Her fat body moved slowly and proudly as she waved. She even made herself a little crown from banana leaves and wore it proudly while carrying her bowl of soup. But the nickname was only the beginning. Something big was about to happen, something that would shake the whole village. One bright Saturday morning, the village chief made a big announcement. There will be a grand festival. Side. There will be singing, dancing, and a special race for all the youths. The winner will receive a giant basket of yams. Amara's eyes lit up. She loved games. Running. Well, she had never really run more than a few steps without stopping to catch her breath. Her fat belly always got in the way. Still, when she heard about the yams, she clapped her hands and shouted, "I will win it." Mama Amina was even more excited. Her large body shook with joy. That morning, she prepared Amara's favorite meal and gave her a double serving of fufu. "Eat well, my princess," Mama Amina said proudly, patting Amara's round belly and then her own. "You need strength to win." By the time the race began, Amara's belly was round and heavy. She lined up with the other youths. They were slim and light, unlike Amara, who stood out clearly as the fattest on the line. She just stood there smiling, rubbing her stomach. "On your marks, set, go," the chief shouted. The youths ran like birds. Amara took one big step, then another. then stopped. Her heavy body refused to move fast. She stood in the middle of the track, breathing hard, her banana leaf crown sliding down her forehead. "Run, Fufu Princess!" The crowd shouted, laughing so hard some people almost fell down. Amara smiled, lifted her hands like a queen, and slowly walked to the finish line, her fat body moving gently, waving to everyone as if she was the guest of honor. When she finally crossed the line dead, the crowd clapped louder than they did for the winner. Someone even threw plantain leaves at her feet like she was a royal guest. From that day, Fufu Princess became more than a nickname. Amara became a legend. But she had no idea that something even crazier was waiting for her. 1 week after the festival, Mama Amina heard big news. The village chief's only son, Kiko, had returned from the big city. He was tall, smart, and handsome, and he was looking for a wife. Immediately, all the mothers in the village began preparing their daughters. Hair was braided, new wrappers were bought. Girls were taught how to walk and smile like queens. But Mama Amina had her own plan. "My Amara will catch Kiko's eye," she said proudly, chewing fufu. Who can resist a fat girl full of fufu and good health? She cooked a giant pot of the richest, thickest soup the village had ever smelled. Her big body leaned over the fire as she stirred. "Amara," she said, "today you will carry this pot to the chief's house. Let them see your beauty and your fufu skills." Amara, fat and strong, tied her best wrapper, fixed her banana crown, and lifted the heavy pot onto her head. It wobbled, but she smiled and began walking. Halfway to the chief's house, something unexpected happened. A hungry village goat named Okoko caught the smell of the soup. Okoko was famous for 2 things: stubbornness and love for food. The goat charged toward Amara like a mad bull. Before anyone could shout, Okoko jumped, trying to push his nose into the pot. Amara screamed. The pot shook. Her heavy body spun slowly as she tried to escape. The goat chased her in circles. Her wrapper started slipping. Her crown fell over her eyes. The whole village came running. "The goat is fighting the Fufu Princess," they shouted, laughing and trying to help. Amara finally gave up. She dropped the pot, plopped heavily onto the ground, and let the goat dive straight into the soup. Splash fever happily. When the chief and Kiko came outside to see what was happening, Amara stood up, cleaned her wrapper, and said calmly, "Good afternoon, Chief. I brought you soup." But Okoko helped himself first. Kiko laughed until he bent over. "This one is special," he said. "Amara, you made soup for me. That is very thoughtful." Amara smiled and ran home to tell her fat mother, Mama Amina. From that day, Kiko and Amara became close friends. Wherever Kiko followed, he loved her honesty, her joy, and her confidence, fat or not. The villagers whispered, of all the slim girls, he chose the Fufu Princess. But Kiko didn't care. Amara is red. And she smells like soup. I love soup. Kiko gently taught Amara about healthy eating and balance. Because she loved him, Amara listened. It wasn't easy, especially because she had been fat all her life. But she tried. 6 months later, Amara had changed. She was healthier, stronger, and glowing. The village was shocked. Soon after, Kiko came to Mama Amina's house with gifts yam, oil, salt, and two fat chickens to ask for Amara's hand in marriage. Mama Amina nearly fainted. Her big body shook with happiness. My princess will become a queen, she shouted. The wedding preparations were huge. On the wedding day, Fufu was stacked into a giant mountain in the village square. Then it collapsed. Everyone gasped. Kiko laughed, picked up Fufu, and gently rubbed it on Amara's cheek. If we are to be husband and wife, he said, we must share everything, even Fufu. The crowd roared with laughter. And right there, with Fufu everywhere, Amara and Kiko danced, while Mama Amina, the fat queen behind the story, laughed proudly. To this day, people say, forget Romeo and Juliet. Give us Kiko and the Fufu Princess. The end. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing stories.